Please welcome Rajiv Bhardwaj.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, all right. Thank you for joining us. And this is my first Discover. And I just came back from Sphere this morning, and I'm blown away. Blown away with the energy, blown away with the innovation. It was simply amazing. How many of you disagree? All right. Good. Awesome. Hey, look, we've heard loud and clear from you, our customers and partners, that you are under pressure to modernize your private clouds, to bring new types of workloads. We heard about AI. We heard about sovereign, edge. All these are new initiatives where you are now under pressure to modernize. And you have to be moving fast. On the other side, most of you are hitting roadblocks. These roadblocks are because of change in pricing on virtualization, changing pricing and packaging on virtualization. And that is creating a lot of angst. A lot of you are concerned, and we hear consistently from you is you want to move fast, but you want to move fast with flexibility, fast with choice, and fast to make sure you lower your total cost of ownership. At HPE, our strategy is to align and address just that. So today, we'll quickly talk about how we are executing on our strategy to help you give flexibility, give you choice, and move fast. Our strategy at HPE is all about the GreenLake cloud platform. This is our platform to simplify the hybrid cloud operating model. At the end of the day, it all starts with workloads. You have a traditional workload, you have a cloud-native workload, you have workloads with machine learning. All these are different types of workloads. The objective of our infrastructure, the role of our infrastructure is to make sure it satisfies the needs of the workload, not the other way around. So first principle for us in our hybrid cloud platform is, can you go back to the previous slide, please? Can you get the clicker? Sorry. So first principle for us is to give you flexibility and choice so that you should be able to pick the right infrastructure based on the needs of the workload. So flexibility and choice. You should be able to take a workload, put the workload on either choice of your hypervisor. It could be the HP hypervisor. It could be any third-party hypervisor. The workload could be a container. The workload could be running on a bare metal server, or the workload could be running on a public cloud. That workload should be supported by HP hardware or a third-party hardware. It should be able to run in your data center, in the core, or at the edge, or in a public cloud. But you should have the flexibility to pick and choose based on the needs of workload. So that's principle one, flexibility and choice. But if all we gave you is flexibility and choice, and nothing else, it becomes very chaotic. So that's why we have this hybrid cloud operating model with cloud management and observability built in so that you have a seamless, consistent, standardized experience across your entire estate. So that is our guiding principle of the platform. What I'll cover today is the HPE runtime software. This is what Antonio announced talked about this morning. This is our KVM-based hypervisor. It's Morpheus VME Essentials, and we'll talk about this today as VME in short. So we announced this capability in November last year in Discover, and started December, we started shipping this capability. So VME, the hypervisor, KVM-based hypervisor, is available in the market. First and foremost, It's priced on a per socket basis. All of you today, most of you, have built private clouds for more than 20 years using a common metric for software, virtualization software, that is socket-based. And that's exactly what we have in our platform. It's socket-based pricing, compelling pricing compared to what's there in the market, dramatically cheaper. Second one is we are simplifying the management. And what that simply means is today you have existing virtualization deployments in your clouds today. With our approach, you can set up a VME-based hypervisor cloud right next to it, managed by the Morpheus management plane. So very easy to insert, and now you have one simplified management. You can manage both existing virtualization workloads and also VME-based workloads all through one management plane. And over time, you can make the choice which workloads belongs where, based on price, performance, and flexibility. Also, we are future-proofing your infrastructure. And what I mean by future-proofing is you can deploy the hypervisor as standalone, or you can integrate the hypervisor into one of our private cloud solutions. It can run on HP hardware, or it can run on third-party hardware. So it's future-proofing your infrastructure. And last but not the least is all the ecosystem services that you use today, be it disaster recovery, backup, monitoring, all those services will work on top of the VME hypervisor. So those capabilities are shipping in the market today. Now, let's double-click a little bit deeper. The product, like I said, is shipping since December. We are now on a monthly release cadence. Every month, we are releasing software capabilities on the VME hypervisor. We have in the market today enterprise-grade capabilities. What I mean by that is automation. All of you build clouds based on some sort of automation, be it Terraform or Ansible. Guess what? That capability is available on the platform today. All of you use capabilities on your existing hypervisors to move workloads around, whether it be vMotion, storage vMotion, resource scheduling. All those capabilities are built into the platform today, available today. And what's even better is you can deploy your hypervisor on a disaggregated infrastructure. Scale your compute, scale your storage totally independently. You get better economics with the architecture. And you get a self-service, public cloud-like experience on your existing virtualization stack. Sitting next to it is VMware hypervisor, HPE hypervisor, all managed through one management interface. And then as we move forward, like I said, we are in monthly release. Many of these things will be available next month. Simplified install. How do we simplify the install of a hypervisor? That's a big priority for us. Microsegmentation, making sure we secure the workloads for east-west traffic. The other one I want to talk about is integration with backup ISVs. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So native integration with backup ISVs on the platform. Advanced migration capabilities. And this is really, really cool. Imagine a world where now you have Morpheus management plane. On the left side is the VME cluster. On the right side is a third-party cluster. And now you are comfortable. You pick the right workload based on the price, performance, and how your licensing is working. And you can seamlessly migrate your workloads from a third-party hypervisor onto VME. And that's the native capability will be built into the platform, available imminently. So as you can see, regular monthly cadence and a lot of enterprise-grade capabilities we are building onto the platform. Now, enterprise-grade capability is one, but beyond enterprise-grade capability, there's also price performance. At the end of the day, right, you have to meet the TCO, and you have to support mission-critical workloads that are performance-oriented. If you talk about pricing, our price on VME, it's the way it's been priced, socket-based, it's not core-based, socket-based, per CPU, $600 a socket. Right? And if you contrast that with what's available in the market, a base level version on a single server with 48 cores, there'll be a 90% savings in acquisition cost for the license, 90%. Now, pricing is important, but I'm not going to deploy my application on a hypervisor simply because it's cost effective. I need enterprise-grade capabilities, but I also need performance. So guess what? We ran a test, performance test. We took the ProLine Gen 12 server, and we have optimized it, and we were able to deliver near bare metal performance of workloads running on a VME hypervisor. Near bare metal performance, less than 2% difference. Well, what does this mean? What it means is we can take very high performance applications that typically run on bare metal, separate tooling. You can now move those workloads, some of those workloads, onto VME. And you can get better operational efficiency and lower your TCO. That's the benefit of higher performance. Of course, there are latency sensitive applications. They'll also come on this platform. So as you can see, enterprise class capabilities, price, performance, all built into the hypervisor. Let's continue. Now, the hypervisor sits in a very critical piece of the cloud. It's surrounded by ecosystem. Right? It has to support multiple types of ecosystem partners. At the foundation level, it has to support all the underlying hardware. So today, we support HP ProLiant, Electra Storage. We also support Dell servers and storage. We support NetApp and Pure Storage compatible with our hypervisor. Your Microsoft Windows and all the variations of Linux OS as guest OSs are supported. As we move up the stack, backup applications, Commvault, Veeam, and Cohesity supported within the platform, and also the databases. You can look at Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, MongoDB. All these are databases supported on the platform. So that's like a rich, healthy ecosystem, and we continue to invest in that. But beyond that, on the Morpheus platform that supports VME, it is very rich in plug-in capability. And what that means is we can bring in custom applications that you have rapidly. Any use case you have, you can bring it rapidly. And let me talk about one, which is microsegmentation. This is enterprise class feature. Many of you use it. On a server, you want to make sure traffic between VMs is microsegmented and there's no compromise on security. Guess what? We built a plugin that sets up the policy on the VME hypervisor, Aruba CX10K. We set up the policy, and as traffic comes, we can provide microsegmentation in the Aruba switches with a DPU. It's high performance, and it works across all hypervisors. And you don't have to pay extra license on VME. That's a big benefit. And we see 48% lower total cost of ownership. So if you're looking at microsegmentation, much better, high performance, cheaper option available with VME. And the example here is highlighting the value of plugins on Morpheus. Next thing is, look, we recognize that the VME hypervisor sits in the core of your cloud. It has to support the most mission-critical applications. And we've been hearing consistently the changes in the market on virtualization, the level of support is questionable. So from our perspective, I want to highlight, HPE is fully committed to support. We have actually a very good starting point on our ability to support virtualization. We were in this market for virtualization for 20 plus years. We've been supporting virtualization solutions. So we're starting from that position. We are in 100 countries. We have 300 plus global engineers, 24/7 by 365. We are providing level 1, level 2, and yes, level 3 services on not only virtualization, but entire full stack. Because virtualization supports servers and storage, there are applications on top, and that's the level of support we provide, and we have made significant investments in making sure we support the VME hypervisor and the ecosystem around that. Next thing is, a lot of you, and as I speak to a lot of customers and partners, it's becoming very clear to us, is there is need for migration tooling, migration help, and also modernization. So what we've done at HPE is we made significant investments in our professional services. And our focus is on delivering complete life cycle of professional services to you. And what that means is, you insert VME into your infrastructure. Step one is migration, is planning, design, migration, but that's not enough. You have to move beyond that, which is modernization. How do we help you get the benefit from the platform? How do you help you automate the underlying infrastructure? How do we help you modernize the applications? All that is IP, intellectual property that we've built in our professional services team. And our strategy here is to take that same IP and work with our ecosystem partners, system integrators, and resale partners, and help you and enable you so that you can serve the needs of the end customers. So significant area for us in terms of investment, making sure you get the value of the platform and you can migrate and modernize quickly. So in summary, we are delivering on our value. The key value prop of VME is choice, flexibility, simplicity at lower cost. It is the foundation of our hybrid cloud platform. And when we talk about flexibility, you can take the VME hypervisor, deploy it standalone either on HPE infrastructure or third-party hardware. You can take VME as a platform, VME as a hypervisor. You can integrate the hypervisor with our private cloud infrastructure. That could be Private Cloud Business Edition, PCBE, or PCE. And again, integrate into those platforms tightly. And also, you can buy it as part of our GreenLake Flex portfolio, which is, you can buy hardware on a consumption basis. It's tightly, it's offered as part of that package, tightly integrated. And then, of course, as part of our strategy, we also give you flexibility through Morpheus managed public clouds. So like I said, the underneath is all about flexibility and choice. On top, if you see the unified hybrid cloud operations, this is where we deliver simplicity. This is where we deliver consistent infrastructure, standardized operations. Customers will come in, get one standard experience on how they provision VMs, how they provision containers. Underneath, it could be VME, it could be third-party hypervisor. So that consistency is what we deliver with standardized infrastructure. So, this is all vision in terms of where we are going, And my old boss once told me, and she used to remind me all the time, actually, and she told me hey, look, vision, strategy is for amateurs, and execution is for professionals. Okay? So with that, let me invite Sherry Williams, SVP of the Hybrid Cloud Business Unit focused on private cloud, with all the responsibilities on execution. She's taking our vision and making it a reality. Let's invite Sherry Williams to the stage. Thank you, Sherry.
Hello, Rajiv.
Hello, Sherry.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. I know you're super busy.
We've been busy. We've been executing. That last slide, I don't know if you can bring that last slide back up. I'd like to, I know you have a question, but I'm going to jump in, okay?
Please.
For those of you who were here last year, at this time, Discover last year, we announced that HPE had virtualization capabilities. We didn't have a slide like this last year. You weren't here?
I wasn't here,
But we
no.
didn't have a slide like this last year. It's so exciting from my seat and my perspective where we've come from Discover last year to Discover 2025. And last year we announced that we had virtualization capabilities based on our own internal IP. At the time, we were in the middle of due diligence on the Morpheus acquisition. We weren't sure we were going to be able to close it, and we did in August. And once we got under the covers and looked at the technology, we quickly realized, there's a hidden gem here. And we then took the Morpheus technology with what we had developed, HPE, and we put it together. And between August and December, we launched HPE VM Essentials. And it's been a wild ride ever since. We launched it, as Rajiv said, in December, worldwide availability in February. We have been rapidly integrating it into this private cloud portfolio. PCBE, we announced last month availability in PCBE, PCAI, or Private Cloud AI, the month before in April, and you'll see it in our Private Cloud Enterprise integrated in the next month or two as well. And as Rajiv pointed out, it's available in our Flex solutions as well, and the Morpheus capabilities allow us to connect into the public cloud. So it's an incredible journey. It's all about execution. And timing and having the right acquisitions at the right time. So anyway, I couldn't help myself.
No, look, it's
been quite a ride.
It's your baby.
Yeah,
look,
sort of.
So actually that gets me to a very important question. We were basically looking at, you were executing, you started the hybrid cloud solution. Mm-hmm. You came up with that. Help us understand the role of virtualization in that. I mean, you could have, HPE had hybrid cloud without virtualization. It was third-party virtualization. Why did HPE look at virtualization, and why did HPE invest in that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the very first slide Rajiv had up was our hybrid cloud stack. And you've probably seen that multiple times over the last day, and you probably see it again before the rest of the conference is over. So we have been building out the concept of the hybrid cloud stack for the last couple of discovers, the last couple of years. And what's also incredibly exciting today or this week is that stack is real, top to bottom now. As you pointed out last year, that runtime layer was third-party oriented, and we were all about choice. We still are all about choice. But when things unfolded with Broadcom, all of our customers and partners had the same ask of us. It was uniform, consistent ask of, help us with this, partner with us, help us find a path forward from where we are today and where we ultimately want to be in. So there's sort of a magical 3 to 5 years that I won't elaborate on, but okay. Many of you have a pending deadline in 3 years, and you're looking for a path forward. And so we listened. We had the opportunity with the Morpheus acquisition to actually bring that, our own IP into that layer and complete that stack top to bottom. And what's beautiful about that stack, and if you can remember it, HPE owns every layer of that stack now. We have all of the IP to actually have the complete hybrid cloud stack, the hybrid cloud operating model, and VME is a foundational piece of it, as you already said.
It's very good. So Sherry, next question. In May, I mean, this is, was my month 4.
Last month?
Month 4, last month. We made fairly significant announcements.
We did.
So, and we made announcements in the past, but this was different, right? So can you share in terms of, for the audience, your perspective on the announcements we made in May, and why is it so different this time?
Well, I think, so again, what we announced in May is really the most complete private cloud portfolio in the industry. And that private cloud portfolio consists of our private cloud offers, PCBE or Private Cloud Business Edition, Private Cloud Enterprise, PCE, and Private Cloud AI. And in all three, we announced the integration of VME into all three of those offers. Why that matters is those offers had actually been VMware based. And so we replaced it with our own technology, which brings down the cost, as you pointed out earlier, and gives us more control over that portfolio. But in addition, the rest of the portfolio is Morpheus Software, and the VME software. So we announced this complete stack. The big piece another big piece in the announcement was our private cloud business edition and the integration of Morpheus into our VME into that stack. And with that, you get the standard, this common foundation across our private cloud portfolio for automation, self-service, governance, right? It's real, it's modular, it's ready to deploy. This is no longer a vision, this is real. We talk about this every single day. Our private cloud control plane is real and enabled on Private Cloud Business Edition as part of the announcement. Private Cloud Business Edition is our disaggregated hyperconverged infrastructure that we're now bringing together with the VME automation and full stack. So just like in private cloud, in public cloud where you can scale, Rajiv, you already pointed out that you can scale with Private Cloud Business Edition as well, depending on what your needs are. If you a starting point and you scale up, it's designed to do that, and it's actually does it very, very nicely. And it's also, we say, smart by design, meaning that there's service catalogs, there's persona-based UX, policy control, it's all built in, and it's all running on the GreenLake platform. So if you attended the keynote this morning and Antonio announced the GreenLake Intelligence, GreenLake Intelligence is now available or will be available with Private Cloud Business Edition as well. So it's kind of a new announcement from what we had in May, is we take it now to the next level that you're able to bring all that agentic capabilities into it as well.
Okay. Look, you've been very busy. Yeah? Now,
that's an understatement.
Yeah. So look, like I said, right, I joined, this is my month 4.
Yep.
And, looking outside in, it was all about, disaggregated infrastructure with VME. You've been talking to a lot of customers before. Can you share how customers are using VME along with the HPE infrastructure? What use cases you are seeing?
Private cloud use cases?
Yeah.
Great question. So we're seeing Private Cloud Business Edition being used to modernize data centers, deploy consistent platforms at the edge. We're seeing a lot more activity and interest at the edge, as I'm sure many of you are exploring that as well. We're building, customers are building cloud services on-prem, the whole private cloud on-prem thing. And that includes things like metering, SLA policies, and what we have actually rivals what the hyperscalers have. It's very similar. And because it's all integrated with Morpheus, and we haven't really delved into this too much today, but what the integration of Morpheus, we're introducing what we're calling our private cloud control plane. And that private cloud control plane brings consistent experience, consistent automation, consistent governance across our private cloud portfolio that's available on-prem, in the colo, at the edge, and in the cloud by nature of Morpheus capabilities to extend into the private cloud. So it's not one size fits all, actually. It's a platform, it's an ecosystem that you can start at any point in it, small and grow, start with one workload, add, cloud native workload, add in an AI native workload over time, and grow the model to fit what your business needs are in a modular, smart way.
Yeah, I think the smart is the key word there.
Yeah. Because
flexibility and choice, if it's not smart, it's chaos. Yeah?
Correct.
It has to be managed, and that's where, Morpheus and Ops Ramp and the management piece, the abstraction piece, that's where it comes in. Yeah. Okay. Next question, Sherry.
Yep.
How are we helping our customers move? Because at the end of the day, virtualization has been in the market for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, a lot of our customers have built their clouds based on virtualization. As far as I remember, playing around with in 2004, 2005, right? 20 plus years, right? So how are we giving customers the confidence to look at, hey, look, you are re-architecting, you're modernizing, you have one more option, right? So how are you giving them confidence?
Well, I think there's a couple of key words you said. They're re-architecting and they're modernizing, right? That had been going on ahead of any other things that happened in the last couple of years. Customers have been down that path. And then the Broadcom changes happened. And so now you have another layer of complexity on top of what you've been trying to do with re-architecting and modernization. And I think it's taking the re-architecting to another level and giving another opportunity, right, to actually kind of rethink what you're doing, because you're, in some ways, kind of forced in a corner to do so. And as we talk to customers on what I've termed the virtualization transformation that they're going through, there's pretty clear process that everybody is going through right now. And first is sort of assessing what you have, kind of planning what you're going to do going forward, finding the right partner to do that with, building the architecture and the plan. Then there's the migration capabilities and building your operating model around it. Because most of you who've had virtualization in your environment for a long time, you have a lot of automation, a lot of scripts, a lot of business processes around your existing infrastructure, your existing ecosystem, and you actually need to rethink that. And now is an opportunity to actually redesign it for the future with AI in mind, with hybrid cloud in mind, and bring those pieces together. And so you talked a little bit about it already with the services that we have available to us. Our goal with HPE is to not just deliver VME to you or deliver a platform to you, but deliver a playbook. I'm going to say that again, a playbook of how do you get from where you are today to where you're going in the future, and how do we help you rethink what that might look like that you might not have thought of a year and a half ago, right? So we have the services in place to do that, the professional services, as well as the portfolio of technology to help you on that journey.
I think, Sherry, we have so much to talk, and we can talk here forever, right?
Okay.
So, what I want to do is, want to pivot a little bit.
Okay.
And let's talk about customers. So what I want to do is, I want to take your leave, and it'll be great, right, if we can hear from the customers now.
Well, let's talk to a partner first.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you, Rajiv. Rajiv he's been here 4 months. He's been a phenomenal part of our journey in helping us get there. So thank you.
Sure.
So I'm going to switch chairs and take the interview position instead. One of the opportunities, I think, I sort of talked about it in the last little segment here, was this is a journey that everybody is going through, and partners are an incredible part of that journey. The weight of innovation and the speed of what things are happening, none of us can do it by ourselves. We're all dependent on partners to get where we want to be. And part of that, Rajiv put up our interop matrix. I think of it as our interop matrix, our ecosystem. Ecosystem includes things like backup vendors. And so one of our partners that I'd like to invite up to the stage is from Veeam. And let me get ahead here, to invite John Jester up to the stage and to talk a little bit about our partnership with Veeam in the context of VME.
Hello, Sherry.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me.
You bet. Thanks for having me here.
So, everybody's getting the same question. Any thoughts from this morning? Any insights, things that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, you bet. So I think we're excited about this partnership we're announcing, which is Veeam is going to fully support Morpheus, the private cloud platform. We want to make sure that all of you, our customers, our partners, have backup, have data resiliency solutions. And the work that we've done together the past couple months and what we've announced is really going to bring that to life. And what I get excited about is customer choice, partner choice, and that's what we're bringing to market here. And we have customers that use VMware, we have customers using VME, And Morpheus is going to manage those together and give customers choice. And Veeam supports both. And we're going to give you data portability between the two and data resiliency solutions across both. So that's what I'm excited about, the partnership we have, how we're giving all of our customers and partners choice.
We love it. We're excited too. So can you elaborate a little bit more on Veeam's support for Morpheus?
Yeah, you bet. So what we're announcing today is full fidelity, image-based backup and data resiliency for VME. So Veeam will fully support the solution, give you that business continuity, the data resilience that all of you need in a managed solution. And I think that's what we're excited about here. Full integration, plugs into the Morpheus platform, gives you an efficient way to manage your data, manage your infrastructure, and like I said, full compatibility between Morpheus, HPE Private Cloud, and Veeam Data Platform.
Excellent. And so as we look at let's see, okay. Sorry, we're just a little bit off. So as we look at our private cloud portfolio, we were speaking about that, and we again started with our initial slide. It's really important that we are able to enable organizations to protect bare metal, virtualized, and container workloads, all running in the private cloud. So can you speak a little bit about how Veeam works with that?
Yeah, you bet. So I think that is important. And many of your customers come to us and ask for support of Kubernetes, containers, et cetera. And Veeam has our Kasten product, which provides that. We have #1 market share protecting containers and Kubernetes today with Kasten. And what we're delighted to announce is that will also integrate with Morpheus and Morpheus's Kubernetes management orchestration pane. So again, giving you choice and then making sure that your infrastructure and your data resiliency work together in a seamless way. So excited about that one.
We're equally excited about that for sure. The data resilience by design, right? A new joint framework that empowers enterprise customers to adopt the holistic, proactive approach to data security and availability.
Yeah. And that's our third announcement. So the first, Veeam Data Platform supporting VME. The second is our Kasten product protecting Kubernetes, containers. And the third is data resiliency by design. And what this is services from HPE coming in, making sure that you set up your private cloud properly, you set Veeam up properly with best practices. So you're going to hit your RPO, your RTO objectives with that. And then once you're operating, we'll actually provide security incident retainers and response from Coveware powered by Veeam. So even you're set up with best practices, you're operating. If there is a cyber attack, if there is an incident, we have a world-class team to work hand in hand with you to get your business back up and running. And I think, hey, that's what our customers ask for. That's what our partners ask for. Integrated solutions built on best practices, and then us standing behind you. I liked Rajiv's slide on support and how we're investing there. Because, hey, everyone in this room has a responsibility to keep their business running. We want to be there with you, and we want to be part of that.
And we, with this partnership and those capabilities, building more and more confidence in the bringing VME into the strategy that the customers are having over the next 3 years of figuring out what their journey is. Having that confidence is critical.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank you for that. And looking forward to continuing expanding this relationship as you evolve your roadmap and we evolve ours to keep bringing it together and bringing that confidence into this journey.
Yeah, and delighted with the partnership. Thank you for having us here. And both of us look forward to serving our mutual customers with these solutions, providing data portability and providing choice.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, thank you, Sherry.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the show. So you've heard from Rajiv, you've gotten my perspective a little bit, one of our great partners. But what we'd like to do next is bring a few customers up to the stage and to have you hear directly from them, their journey, and how they're looking at this virtualization capability, VME, in their own portfolios. So with that, I'd like to invite Casper and Zach up to the stage. Casper from Danfoss and Zach from the Home Depot. Hello, thank you.
Hey, thank you for
Hello,
having
thank
me.
you. So it's a pleasure, a true pleasure to have these folks on the stage with me today. These are two partners that we personally spend a lot of time with, working together on building out your journey forward and working together on innovation. So I thank you both for all the work we've done together and for spending time with us today here. So I want to get started with just get everybody kind of a little bit of a baseline. I think a lot of people are familiar with the name Danfoss and Home Depot, but I want to give each of these the opportunity to kind of explain their own what you do. And Casper, we're going to start with you, and you've got a picture up there that looks like someone shopping in the supermarket. Why would you choose that, and how does it relate to Danfoss?
So first of all, thank you for having us here today. It's a pleasure. So the reason why we chose this picture is that we engineer tech that enables the world to do more with less. And that's actually also what you see in the picture here. We reuse the excess heat from the data centers, and that's just one of our solutions. We do the same in the data centers, and actually, if you listen carefully in the keynote with Antonio this morning, then that's technology that he actually spoke about. So yeah, so that is why we chose this picture today.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It was a surprise to me in the keynote this morning, but that's actually really incredible.
Yeah.
What we're doing. So Zach, Home Depot, most of the people in the US here probably have been to Home Depot sometime in the last month or two. I know I'm a regular on the weekends. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a customer too, so I shop there in my personal time. Home Depot, we're the world's largest specialty home improvement shop. We operate over 2,300 stores across US, Canada, and Mexico. We have about 470,000 associates within the ecosystem, and we do home improvement. If you need plumbing, lumber, come see us.
And I do on a regular basis. So excellent. So when we think about Antonio's keynote this morning, I think one of the things, it's obviously very impressive. And for me, sitting there this morning, I'm thinking about, I wonder how all this works. I wonder what's going on in the background. And I wonder what had to actually be completely true today to make that go off flawlessly, right? What are the things that they focused on? So I'd like to kind of extend that to each of you and ask you, what's one thing your stakeholders, your customers, your employees, team members, just expect that it's going to work, that it's going to be seamless, it's going to be on demand, and how does your team have to manage through that complexity? Can we start with you?
Yes, thanks. So for us, it's all about operational excellence. And at a global scale, we're a global company, family-owned, but I think actually also it's about the scale. When we talk about, we grew the company, and we doubled the size of the company within the last 5 years. So for us, it was important to actually work with partners that can help us on that journey, because we can't do it alone, right? So it's the right technology, but it's for sure also the right partners that we can trust and that we have that relationship with.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. And Zach?
Of course. Our focus is always on a world-class customer experience. So if you think about, you start your day with us, it's store open, or you're swinging by at store closed, to be proactive, right? Did you order online to pick up in that store? Are you running in to pick up something like a traditional transaction? All of that should work, whether that's a virtualized environment or not. It needs to be consistent and reliable every single time.
I honestly don't even think it's not going to work, to be honest with you, when I show up. So completely understand. So I know it's late in the day. It's been a long day, and I know there's going to be some refreshments and an interesting concert later. I'm going to try to add some fun here a little bit.
Absolutely.
So this is one of those true-false things. So I'm going to share a little bit about each organization, and you'll have to decide for yourself if you think it's true or false. True or false? Danfoss operates in 97 countries runs IT across more than 180 remote sites, and was HPE's first private cloud enterprise customer with POCs in flight for VM Essentials and Private Cloud AI and our Edge solution. True or false? True? True. It is true. Absolutely.
It is.
And that's not the end of the list, right? It's broad and deep, our relationship and our partnership. So Casper, what drove that level of investment? And how has your approach to private cloud evolved from the initial private cloud enterprise to our current work on Edge?
Yeah, so for us, it's important when we talk about these solutions that it's secure, reliable, it's scalable, and then of course, as you also mentioned here in the beginning, right, it's cost effective. So it provides the value within a decent cost, right? And that's what we have worked on with HPE for many years now. It's key to evolution. As you're saying, we've been a GreenLake customer for many years, and have that trusted relationship. So that's what is important for us.
And as we are working on your Edge deployment right now, each one of your Edge sites is a little bit unique. They're not all the same. And our partnership of working through finding the right Edge solution for each site is, again, part of that partnership and evolution.
Absolutely. So for us, it's a natural step to go to the edge also now. I think Antonio also talked about end-to-end tech, right? We're utilizing a lot of the solutions here. So for us, when this became available, we deep dive in this, and you saw, and now we've just gone through all the tech stuff. Right. But for us, it's not only the tech, it's actually also having a partner that can help us on this. That's the entire purpose of having the relationship here. Also making sure that as we are scaling, that we have someone that can help us on that journey. That is important. And of course, looking at the roadmap and making sure that we're also evolving the technology over time to make sure that it fits for purpose.
And our partnership helps define the roadmap as we go.
Yeah.
Which is also true with the Home Depot. So true or false for Zach here for the audience? True or false, the Home Depot is rolling out private cloud infrastructure at 20 stores per week. True? You guys know all this already. It's false, actually. It's much more impressive than that. They're actually rolling out 80 stores per week. And what's even more impressive is it happens overnight when the store's closed with zero downtime for our store team members and customers. Very impressive. So what does it take, Zach, behind the scenes to make that kind of rollout possible? And how did HPE help build a model that scales that efficiently and reliably?
For sure. The word I think of is partnership. Like, I know we mentioned it, and it's probably going to be a theme. But if you think about implementation plans, rollback, validation, communication, all the stuff that has to happen to make migration happen, that had to be vetted, it had to be put out, it had to get trust behind that process and able to scale to that number, right? Once you're at that number, it's kind of rinse and repeat because everything goes well. But if you think about, hey, something in one of the 80 stores didn't go right, how do you roll that back before store open? How do you do those things? Who do you contact? Who do you validate? And then once we're migrated, it got put over in what we would consider day two. So you're running support going forward too. So it was less about a migration, it's more about a pipeline of getting stuff moved over to the right platform and then support going forward.
And establishing that operating model to
Absolutely.
make that a rinse and repeat, and then day two going forward. Yeah, excellent. So you both have talked about the importance of the partnership, right? And the breadth and depth of your environments are incredible. I mean, just when I think about the complexity and the volume, it's incredible. And you continue to scale and drive more flexibility. But I want to pause for a second and talk about what you've achieved along the way. And again, coming back to sort of the question of what's one outcome or shift you had to make, whether it's a measurable win, a change in how your teams operate, again, the operating model, or something you've been able to stop doing altogether. What's one thing that each of you made a shift in this process? And Jasper, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I have to come back to this about doubling the size of the company again, right? I mean, we've done quite some M&A activities over the last years, and one of them was actually the acquisition of Eaton Hydraulics, which was a carve-out, 10,000 more employees and 50 plus sites. So for us, and by the way, within a period of 3 years, we had to integrate that due to a TSA agreement, right? So for us, doing that and making sure that we could actually accomplish that, we had to have the right partner. We had to have the right technology. We had to have someone help us on that journey. So that's the essence of why we have also chosen to do this together with HPE now, since we started on GreenLake. So for us, that was important here. Integrate quickly, so the flexibility, the speed within a certain time period here, and then reliable and trustful relationship again. That's important.
Speed, the schedules never have a lot of extra room in there, so
No,
speed is always
it's
a
always
key
tight.
factor in what we're doing.
The essence in IT, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. And Zach, how about you?
We just talked about the migration pace and production. One of the biggest things for us is we get to refocus some of our internal engineering back on the business. So solving business problems, developer friction, customer problems, knocking down issues for our frontline store associates, anything to help improve that customer experience end to end.
That's fabulous. And giving back, then they get to focus on things that are interesting to them as well,
Absolutely.
which I think is always incredibly powerful. What pushed each of you to step back and kind of rethink your approach to virtualization? That's been a theme in several different sessions today. How does it fit into the virtualization changes fit into each of your broader strategies that are associated with redesigning, evolving your platform, and kind of keeping up with the needs of your teams? Can you speak to that? Let's start again.
Sure can. So VME was a natural step for us with HPE due to the relationship that we had, right? And I'm again talking about the end-to-end stack that fits our portfolio. Making sure that we have a trustful partner that will help us also with the evolving global needs that keeps on coming in, right? And the continuous upgrade of the tech that we always have to do, right? And then, of course, economic alignment. So making sure, also as you talked about, making sure that it was the right value for the right money.
That's always true, isn't it? Yeah. Zach?
I would say GreenLake's a trusted platform in our environment, and any kind of flexibility or composability within that is exciting. It allows us to face future business problems with potentially a new solve.
Excellent. Can you also talk a bit more about where you see that value showing up initially? Is it efficiency, simplicity, scale, something else? You've kind of touched on it, but I'd like to be real pointed.
So I think it's all right, and it's with VME, it's the enhanced control, it's visibility, it's making us sure to manage it in a much better way than what we used to be. So for all of that, it is important in combination.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's all of the above. It has to be. Again, we focus on repeatable, consistent interactions with users, whether that's a store associate or a customer. All of those things come into play.
And one final question before we wrap here. You're both been GreenLake customers for a long time, and we're exploring the VME journey together with you and so forth. This morning, Antonio announced the GreenLake, the next generation of GreenLake, which brings in GreenLake Intelligence and bringing that agentic AI capability into the platform, into the ecosystem that you're heavily invested in today. Just any thoughts off the top of your head, what that means to you as you're evolving? Anything that, when you're sitting there, you thought, oh my gosh, we can definitely leverage this. Anything you can share with the audience?
For us, I think it's about, again, control, making sure that the world is evolving out there, right? And it's not becoming easier to steer. So making sure that you have the right tools, the right management systems to make sure that you can operate and actually also that you can flex and you can scale and you can adjust according to evolving needs that is constantly changing. That's the pressure that we're all under, right? But it's also the beauty of being in IT, right? That it's, at least that's why I'm in there, right? Because you never know what happens, right? And what you need to deliver the next day. And I think some of the new things will help us on that journey.
Agreed.
As we look forward, I think database decisions is key. The more data you have, the better you have access to that data, the faster and more accurate those decisions are. And so as we look forward at capabilities within GreenLake and stuff that was talked about in the keynote, like how does that affect us in our business and how does that come together?
So that's looking forward. What's one thing you never want to go back to?
For me, it's thinking about that. It's basically all the things that we were struggling with in the past, right? Before we had automation, before we had standardization, before we were actually able to manage it in that way, because, as I said before, the world is turning faster and faster, and I don't want to operate my system in a way that I used to do, right? Because it would not fit the requirements that we have today, both from the business and actually from the world turning around with a much faster speed than it used to.
Everything's going so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
I think all the system administrators in the audience will probably agree. Manual changes is a thing that we're never going to do again, ever.
Amen.
Just not good.
I completely agree with that. I don't want to see it either on the business side and the support side. Completely agree. Well, thank you for spending some time with me today, and especially thank you for the partnership with both companies that we've enjoyed over the last few years, the co-innovation, the co-development, and I'm looking forward to continuing that going forward as we evolve our roadmaps and as you continue down your journey. So thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this of Discover.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I think one theme that has come across very strongly that I hope you take away today is the importance of the partnership and how much HPE is here to partner with you. Whether it's partner directly just with us or partnering with our partners such as Veeam, we're here to support you on the journey, to help you focus on your core competencies and not have to worry about all the infrastructure pieces because you have a partner with HPE and HPE's partners to help you on that journey. So before we close, I'd like to ask Rajiv to come back up on the stage. And Rajiv is going to actually share with you internally how we're actually using VME and going through our own transformation internally. So
Thank you very much. Very exciting
Thank
talk,
you.
by the way.
Yeah.
Magic happens when the ecosystem comes together.
That is so key and so important. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, 20,000 VMs, 8 petabytes of storage, VMs, containers, databases, custom applications, 22 sites, and one whopping cost of virtualization bill. Yeah? That was our state as HPE Labs. And this is really important because this is where all the HPE engineers do the work. And I was an engineer many years ago. And if you can't check in your code or if things are down, it's a loss of productivity. So we started on this journey to optimize our cost because our costs were out of whack. And as any organization, we had to minimize and optimize our costs so that we can spend more on innovation, like most of you. So we started on this journey of migrating to VME, and we are, I would say, halfway there. Again, what we've done is we've set up existing virtualization on the left, VME virtualization on the right, all managed through Morpheus. And we have started migrating workloads. And like I said, we are halfway through, and we have seen 70% reduction in our licensing cost. Right? That is what we've seen, and in many ways, we are drinking our own champagne here at HPE. To wrap it up, I do want to kind of come back to where we started. All of you, and we hear consistently from all our customers and partners, that you are under pressure to modernize your infrastructure, to bring in new types of workloads. You have to re-architect for AI, re-architect for sovereign, re-architect for edge, where a lot of data is now kind of moving more and more towards on-prem. You have to re-architect that. And you're hitting a roadblock with the changes in virtualization, pricing changes, packaging changes. And that's kind of slowing you down. So our commitment from an HPE perspective, we are committed to you. We are committed to kind of solving that problem. Hopefully you saw that today. Our strategy in terms of where we are going so that you have flexibility to move fast, flexibility to move with choice, and have a lower TCO. And you also saw with Sherry in terms of how we are executing towards that strategy, rapid execution, big focus for us. And for that, right, I want to say next year I want to be here again with different set of customers, and we can start having a slide, more than 20,000 VMs we want to showcase here next year. So with that, I also want to highlight lot of sessions focused on VME and Morpheus. Please go search your app, look at the app, and if you have an opportunity, please go listen to customers, please go listen to our engineers. You'll get more insight in terms of what are we executing, what are our priorities. And last but not the least, we're here because of you, and we want to make sure we get feedback from you. Go to the mobile app and give us feedback so that we can do better next time when we meet. So with that, I want to thank all of you for taking the time. Enjoy the rest of the show, and thank you for being a HPE customer.